All right, thanks for joining me today. I'm on a mini vacation at the moment at an undisclosed location, so I'm not in my studio, so I apologize for the lack of lighting, sound, etc., etc. In any case, I'll be back on the 23rd, 24th, and I'll be continuing with some more prediction videos from there. But it's Colorado versus the Flames. It's Colorado versus the Stars, beginning on Saturday, the 22nd. And let's talk about that and what my pick's going to be. Now, Dallas beat Calgary in their series 4-2. Colorado beat Arizona in theirs 4-1. Dallas outscored Calgary 21-17. However, interesting note here, Calgary at this moment, before the games have started on the 21st, still sit in first place in the NHL playoffs in goals for. Colorado outscored Arizona, by the way, 22-8. You watch those last two games? In the last two games alone, they outscored them 14-2. Incredible. Yeah. Let's talk about special teams for a moment. The power play. Colorado is number one in the playoffs at this moment, scoring at over 30%. Dallas sits in seventh, scoring at 20%. When it comes to the penalty kill, Colorado's number 5. That may not seem, so hot, but that's the best of any team at the moment right now that are still in the playoffs / round robin. Now, Dallas, on the other hand, is 19th in the playoffs on the penalty kill, and that's the second worst of any team left right now that's still in the playoffs. Can you guess who is last in? St. Louis. Yeah, they actually have a worse penalty kill than that. Kind of shocked me as well. So that doesn't bode well for Dallas right off the bat here, because Colorado's power play is so amazing, and there's PK isn't looking the greatest. Now, when it comes to playoff point leaders, let's talk about that. Colorado has 3 players with 10 points or more, which is basically the top of the NHL in the playoffs. Starting with McKinnon at number 1 with 13 points. Kadri, who's tied for 3rd overall with 11. And Rantanen, who's tied for 4th, with 10 points. For Dallas, they only have 1 player with 10 points or more in the playoffs, and that's not even a forward. It's a defenseman. Heiskanen, he's tied for 2nd with points with 12 right now, and of course is number one defenseman in points. The next best defenseman out there is, can you guess it? In 3, Quinn Hughes with 9 points. Yep. Goal leaders. Now, this is where things flop just a little bit. Remember, Dallas kind of blew out Calgary in that last game, scored like 7 goals. So Dallas has 2 players with 5 or more goals in the playoffs so far, and Colorado has 1. So we're looking at Kadri for Colorado, Pavelski and Gurianov, who are tied for first in the league right now with 6 goals. McKinnon has 4, by the way. Now, finally, let's talk about goalie save percentage before I give you my prediction. Francois, now we only played 2 games, but he's got a .958 save percentage in these playoffs so far. Pretty decent for a backup. Grubauer is 8th in the playoffs right now with a .937 save percentage, and that's in 6 games. Remember, this is also including round-robin games. For Dallas, Hudobin is 16th with a .919 save percentage in 7 games, more than either of those 2 Colorado goalies, and that's nothing to be shy about either. That's a pretty good number. Now, Bishop is where this kind of falls off the map a bit. Right now, he's still hurt. Will he start the Colorado series? Nobody knows at the moment. This is Friday, and I think we're still a couple of hours before the first game starts, by the way, on the 21st. Now, Bishop, he's 33rd in the NHL playoffs right now of all goaltenders with an .862 save percentage. Ouch, yikes. And that's in only 2 games. Now, there are 4 goalies who are worse than him. If you can guess those, the first one, the best of the worst, so to speak, is Binnington, who's still in the playoffs right now. Although Allen's been playing a lot lately for Vancouver. We'll see who they play next. Smith for Edmonton is next. Raanta for Arizona, surprisingly enough, is second worst. And the worst goalie with numbers anyway so far in these playoffs is with Riddick of the Calgary Flames. Now, who am I picking here? How does the light show? Okay. Dallas just has some very key veteran players who have seen a lot of playoff mileage, like Pavelski, for instance, even Ben and Sagan somewhat. There's Perry, although we all know he's not too much of an effective player anymore, more with his mouth and his stick work. And I don't mean in stick handling, I mean stick work. Than his actual game-breaking prowess. I don't know if you saw that breakaway he had the other day. Go check social media. He looked like he was skating with a couple of cement anklets around around his feet as the Calgary Flames defenseman had no trouble catching up to him after he was on the breakaway. It was pretty hilarious. And anyways, I think this is going to be a close series. I think it could go at least 6 games. I think it's very possible Dallas could win this. They could eke one out. I think that's also dependent on Bishop getting healthier, even though Hudobin's had a great playoffs for them so far, for the most part. But I got to give this one to Colorado. They're just their offense is spread out throughout that lineup. I believe it's Raanta, and Comfer, I can never pronounce that name properly, who also have 3 goals. So their goals and their points are spread out through a lot of players. Their defense is maybe as good as Dallas. Maybe they even might have a slight advantage. Maybe Dallas might have some of the like Heiskanen, some of the bigger players, a couple of bigger players on that, and their top 3 might be better. But overall, Colorado has a much better defense. Makar, yes, we can't forget about him, how great he's been. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing here. In any case, I'd love to hear who your choice is for this series down in the comment section down below, and why, of course. And, yeah, there you have it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, which will alert you when my next video will come out, which will be on the 23rd or 24th or so. And that's it. Please be kind to each other out there. And I'll see you soon.